Okay, so now today's topic is whole numbers. What are whole numbers? Before standing what are whole numbers, first let us understand what are natural numbers. So natural numbers are counting numbers that start from 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. These are natural numbers, and we also define natural numbers by n. We denote natural numbers by n. So the natural numbers are counting number that starts from 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So the smallest natural number is 0. सबसे छोटा natural number कौन सा है? 1. And the largest natural number is, there is no largest natural numbers, because the collection of natural numbers is infinite. For if in the set of natural number, if we add 0, if 0 is included in the set of natural numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, then this becomes a set of whole numbers. Whole numbers that start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we denote whole numbers by W. So when we start from 0, then it becomes the set of whole numbers. If when we start from 1, then become the set of natural numbers. So the natural numbers start from 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, and the smallest natural number is 1, and there is no largest natural number. In case of whole numbers starts from 0, the smallest whole number is 0, and again there is no largest whole numbers, because the collection of whole number is also infinite. Now if we have to find how many whole numbers are there between 1 and 50, how many whole numbers are there between 1 and 50? अगर पूरा काउंट करते रहेंगे तो थोड़ा टाइम टेकिंग है. For that, what we have to do, in case of between, we have to subtract a smaller number from the greater number. Smaller is 1, greater is 50, so we'll subtract 1 from 50, that is 50 minus 1. And in case of between, we'll subtract minus 1 also. We'll subtract 1, so 50 minus 1, that is 49, and 49 minus 1, that is 48. So there are 48 whole numbers between 1 and 50, and this is the case of between. When we are talking about from, how many whole numbers are there from 1 to 50? Again we need to subtract the smaller number from the greater number. So again we will subtract 1 from 50, and in case of from we will add 1. So 50 minus 1, that is 49, and 49 plus 1, that is 50. Why there is 48 and why there is 50? Because in case of between, we will not include the first and the last number. 1 और 50 को include नहीं करेंगे, इसलिए 1 और 50 के अलावा कितने नंबर्स होंगे? 48, जो कि बीच में, between में मतलब जो बीच में होंगे, 1 और 50 के बीच में होंगे, that is 48 whole numbers. And in case of from, why the number is 50? Because we will include first and the last number also, and between numbers also. फर्स्ट और लास्ट नंबर को भी इंक्लूड करेंगे, और जो बीच वाले नंबर्स होंगे उनको भी इंक्लूड करेंगे. सो द टोटल होल नंबर्स फ्रॉम 1 to 50 आर 50, एंड इन केस ऑफ बिटवीन देयर आर 48 होल नंबर्स फ्रॉम बिटवीन 1 and 50. सो इन केस ऑफ बिटवीन we will subtract 1, and in case of from we will add 1, and then 48 whole numbers are there between 1 and 50, and there are 50 whole numbers from 1 to 50. Now next topic is properties of whole numbers. Properties of whole numbers, there are 4 properties. First is closure law, and we can also say property as law. Second is, or we can also say property, closure property or closure law. Next is commutative property or commutative law. Third is associative, and the fourth is distributive. So there are 4 properties. First is closure, second is commutative, third is associative, and fourth is distributive. Now let's understand the first property, that is closure property. In closure property, it is very simple. In closure property, first we need to take two whole numbers because these are the properties of whole numbers. In class 7 we will study the properties of integers. Same, the property will remain same, but वो integer का case होगा. And in class 8 we will study the properties of rational numbers. Again there will the 4 properties will be there. Properties हमेशा same रहेंगी, बस चेंज हो जाएगा कि किसका होगा, होल नंबर्स की प्रॉपर्टीज़ होंगी कि इंटीजर्स की होंगी कि रेशनल नंबर्स की. इन क्लास 6 वी विल स्टडी द प्रॉपर्टीज़ ऑफ होल नंबर्स. सो फर्स्ट प्रॉपर्टी इज क्लोजर. फॉर क्लोजर प्रॉपर्टी व्हाट वी नीड टू होल नंबर्स a and b. That operation, so there are 4 operation, that is plus, minus, multiplication and subtraction. That is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. There are 4 operations. So for closure, जब भी दो होल नंबर्स को ऐड या सब्ट्रैक्ट करेंगे या मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे या डिवाइड करेंगे, हमेशा जो थर्ड होगा वो भी हमेशा हमारा होल नंबर होना चाहिए. जो हमें ऐड करने पे मिलेगा होल नंबर होना चाहिए. जो हमें दो नंबर्स को सब्ट्रैक्ट करने पे मिलेगा वो भी होल नंबर होना चाहिए. जो दो नंबर को मल्टीप्लाई करने पे मिलेगा वो भी होल नंबर होना चाहिए. जो दो नंबर को डिवाइड करने पे मिले वो भी होल नंबर होना चाहिए. सो a इज ऑल्सो अ होल नंबर and b is also a whole number and c should also be a whole number. For example, let's understand with an example. For example, a is let's take a value of a is 2 and value of b is 3. When we'll add two numbers, 2 plus 3, that gives out 5. 2 plus 3 equals to 5. That means 2 is also a whole number and 3 is also a whole number. So when we add two whole numbers, so we'll get the whole number. 5 is a whole number. So that means for addition, closure law holds true for addition. Same we can also check for subtraction also. Let's take these two numbers only. 2 minus 3. 2 is also a whole number, 3 is also a whole number. जब इन दोनों को subtract करेंगे what we'll get? We'll get minus 1 and minus 1. 1 is a whole number but minus 1 is not a whole number, it's an integer. So that means closure law does not hold true for subtraction. Means addition के लिए true है, subtraction के लिए true नहीं है. Next is we can check for multiplication also. Again we'll multiply 2 multiply 3 equals to 6. That means 2 is also a whole number, 3 is also a number, and when we multiply two whole numbers, that will also give out 6 as a whole number. That means for multiplication के लिए भी ये true है closure. Next we'll check for division. Division के लिए check करेंगे 2 divided by 3. 2 cannot be completely divided by 3, so we'll write 2 by 3, and 2 by 3 is not a whole number. ये थोड़ा डेसिमल में आएगा, तो डेसिमल में होल नंबर्स वाली वैल्यू काउंट आउट नहीं होते हैं. सो डिवीजन के लिए ट्रू नहीं है, मल्टीप्लिकेशन के लिए ये ट्रू है. So closure is clear. Next property is commutative property. Again we will check commutative property for 4 operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. For commutative property what we need, again we need two whole numbers a and b. For addition what it should be there, a plus b should be equal to b plus a. Means a plus b और b plus a दोनों हमेशा क्या होने चाहिए, इक्वल होने चाहिए. That means left hand side, this is called left hand side, इक्वल के इधर लेफ्ट वाला लेफ्ट हैंड साइड, इक्वल के इधर राइट में, दैट इज कॉल्ड राइट हैंड साइड. That is LHS and RHS. LHS means left hand side and RHS means right hand side. Equal towards the right of equal, that is called right hand side, and towards the left of equal, that is called right hand side. So again let's take two example. Let's take an example of A value will be 2 and B again 3, and B should be 3 and A is 2. Now 2 plus 3, that is equals to 5, and 3 plus 2 is also equal to 5. That means commutative property is true for addition. Commutative property is true for addition because LHS is equal to RHS. 5 equals to 5. Left hand side is also 5 and right hand side is also 5. That means commutative property is true for addition. Now check for subtraction. A minus B equals to B minus A. Whether it is equal or not, we'll check. So again 2 and 3 and 3 and 2. So 2 minus 3 and 3 minus 2. So 2 minus 3 equals to minus 1 and 3 minus 2 equals to 1. LHS is equal to RHS? No, that is they both are unequal. Now that means for commutative property does not hold true for addition, subtraction. Now check for multiplication. A multiply B should be equals to B multiply A. Now check whether it is true or false. So 2 multiply 3 equals to 3 multiply 2. That is 2 multiply 3 equals to 6 and 3 multiply 2 is also equals to 6. That means left hand side equals to right hand side. That means for addition it is true and for subtraction it is not true, and for multiplication it's true. Now check for division. Again 2 divided by 3 equals to 3 divided by 2. So 2 divided by 3 it's not possible, वो whole number नहीं होगा, and 3 divided by 2 ये भी whole number नहीं होगा. So they both are unequal. That means division के लिए क्या है, ये true नहीं है. Now next property is associative property. For associative property we need 3 whole numbers A, B and C. बाकी सब में हमें अभी क्लोजर के लिए हमें 2 whole numbers चाहिए थे, कॉम्यूटेटिव में भी हमें 2 whole numbers चाहिए थे, बट फॉर एसोसिएटिव प्रॉपर्टी वी नीड 3 whole numbers A, B and C. Now for associative property, for addition A plus B plus C should be equals to A plus B plus C. दिस इज द केस ऑफ एडिशन. ए प्लस, पहले हम बी प्लस सी, जो बी प्लस सी 2 होल नंबर्स होंगे उन ब्रैकेट में पहले उनको सॉल्व करेंगे, ठीक है. एंड इन अनदर केस फर्स्ट वी विल सॉल्व ए प्लस बी. सो लेट्स पुट वैल्यू. ए वैल्यू शुड बी 2, बी इज 3 एंड सी इज 4. नाउ पुट द वैल्यू. ए इज 2, बी 3, 4. First we will check for left hand side. So 2, first we need to solve the bracket. 3 plus 4 that is 7 and 2 plus 7 that is equals to 9. Now check for right hand side. Again A value is 2, 2 plus 3 plus 4. 2 plus 3 5, 5 plus 4 that is equals to 9. That means left hand side is also 9, right hand side is also 9. That means left hand side equals to right hand side. That means associative property holds true for addition. Now check for subtraction. A minus B minus C is to A minus B minus C. Again A value will be 2, B is 3 and C is 4. Now 2 minus 3 minus 4. Now let's check. First we will solve the bracket. 3 minus 4 that is minus 1. Again when we will open the bracket, minus minus become plus. And 2 minus 3 that is minus 1 and minus 4, and minus minus plus that is minus 5. So 3 equals minus 5, that both are unequal. That means associative property does not hold true for subtraction. Now we will check for multiplication. A multiply B multiply C equals to A multiply B and multiply by C. Again the value will remain same. A value will be 2, B value is 3 and C value is 4. Here also 2 multiply 3 and then multiply 4. First we need to solve the bracket. 3 4s are 12 and 12 2s are 24. Now check for right hand side. 2 3s are 6 and 6 4s are 24. That means left hand side equals to right hand side. So associative property holds true for multiplication. Now check for division. A divide B, B divide C, A divide B and divided by C. So A value will be 2, B is 3 and C is 4. A is 2, B is 3 and C is 4. Now first we need to solve the bracket. 3 divided 5 4. 3 divided 5 is not a whole number, and 2 divided by 3 divided by 4. 2 by 3 is also not a whole number, 3 by 4. So that means for division they both are unequal and it does not hold true for division. Now next property. Okay, so now next property is distributive property. For distributive property we need two operations. First is distributive property is about multiplication over addition. So multiplication over addition. Again for distributive property we need three whole numbers. So A multiply in bracket B plus C should be equals to A. When you open the bracket for distributive property, first is multiplication over addition. So multiplication over addition. When we'll open the bracket, A multiply B plus A multiply B plus एक बार A की मल्टीप्लाई B से होगी, देन प्लस साइन, देन A की मल्टीप्लाई देन C से होगा, देन A मल्टीप्लाई बाय C. Let's see whether it is equal or not, or whether it is holds true for multiplication of addition or not. So again let's take a value of A is 2, B is 3 and C is 4. So A is 2, 3 plus 4. First we will check left hand side only. So 2 multiply 3 plus 4, that is 7. 7 multiply 2, it's 14. Now check left hand side. A multiply B. A is 2, B is 3 plus A is 2 and C value is 4. 2 multiply 3, that is 6 plus 2 multiply 4, that is 8. 6 plus 8, that is 14. That means both are equal. That means left hand side equals to right hand side. That means distributive property is true for multiplication over addition. Distributive property is true for multiplication over addition. Now next is, in distributive property, next case is multiplication over subtraction. Multiplication over subtraction. For that सिर्फ प्लस की जगह माइनस का साइन चेंज हो जाएगा. ठीक. A multiply B minus C. When you open the bracket, A multiply B and subtraction sign, then A multiply C. एक बार A का मल्टीप्लिकेशन B से होगा, then A का मल्टीप्लिकेशन C से होगा. Again let's put the value and check whether it is true or not. So A is 2, B is 3 minus 4. 2 multiply 3 minus 4 is minus 1, and 2 multiply minus 1 is minus 2. Now check for right hand side. A is 2, B is 3, A is 2 and C is 4. 2 multiply 3 is 6. 2 multiply 4 is 8, and 6 minus 8, that is minus 2. So both are equal. That means left hand side equals to right hand side. So that means distributive property holds true for multiplication over subtraction. So both are true. For multiplication over addition it's also true, and for multiplication over subtraction it's also true. So distributive property. Next is property of zero. Property of zero. Now property of zero means we'll check what is the additive identity for addition, what is the additive identity for subtraction, what is the additive identity for multiplication, and what is the additive identity for division. Now property of zero means when we will add any number to zero, then give out the same number. For example, for addition, a plus 0 equals to 0 plus a or equals to a. किसी भी नंबर में 0 ऐड करेंगे तो हमें क्या मिलता है? सेम नंबर मिलता है. When we'll add any number to 0, we'll get the same number. Let's try. For example, a is 2, 2 plus 0 or 0 plus 2. 2 plus 0 करो या 0 plus 2 करो, we'll get the 2 only. So that means for addition, the additive identity is 0. 0 is the additive identity, or we can also say 0 is the identity element for addition. Now if we check for subtraction whether there is any additive identity for subtraction or for that, so a minus 0 equals to 0 minus a, and that should be equals to a. चेक करते हैं कि a आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है. So a is 2, 2 minus 0, 2 minus 0 is 2, but 0 minus 2 is minus 1. So we are not getting the same number. That means there is no identity, or there is no additive identity for subtraction, or there is no the property of 0 does not hold true for subtraction. Now for multiplication we can check a multiplies 0 or 0 multiply a should be equals to a. Whether we have to check this कि ये a आएगा कि नहीं आएगा. तो a is 2, 2 multiply 0 is 0 or 0 multiply 2 is 0. We are not getting the same number. सेम नंबर हमें नहीं मिल रहा है, हमें मल्टीप्लाई करने पे 0 मिल रहा है. दैट मीन्स प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ 0 डज नॉट होल्ड ट्रू फॉर मल्टीप्लिकेशन. नाउ नेक्स्ट इज प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ 1. Property of 1. Property of 1 means when we multiply any number by 1, we get the same number. So for multiplication, first we'll check a multiply 1 or 1 multiply a will get the same number a. So let's check. A is 2 multiply 1 is 2 or 1 multiply 2 is also 2. That means left hand side equal to RHS, we are getting the same number also. We can say 1 is the identity element. 1 is the identity element for multiplication. Or we can also say the multiplicative identity. The multiplicative identity is 1, or 1 is the multiplicative identity. Multiplicative identity is 1. So additive identity is 0 and the multiplicative identity is 1. If the question comes कि what is the multiplicative identity, that is 1, and what is the additive identity, that is 0. Additive identity is 0 and multiplicative identity is 1. Now we will learn how to solve the questions that based on laws or based on properties. With the help of laws, how we'll solve these type of questions. So first, as you can see there are two operations, multiplication and subtraction. So when we are having two operations, there is always a distributive law. So you can write by distributive law. So for that, what we have to do, we will see there is a subtraction sign. Subtraction sign के left में और right में which number is common? Left and right. 97 is common on both the sides, so we will take 97 as common. 97 कॉमन लेंगे, देन मल्टीप्लाई का साइन, देन वी विल पुट ब्रैकेट. अब 97 कॉमन लिया, देन व्हाट इज लेफ्ट? 29. 29 is left. 29, then subtraction sign minus, and then on the right hand side again 97 we have taken as common, so what is left? 28. Now 97 multiply, well, so first we will solve the bracket. So 29 minus 28 is, that is 1, and 97 multiplied by 1 is 97. So 97 is the answer. Again, let's see one more example. That is 92 multiplied by 11 minus 92 multiplied by 10, or you can say addition also. So on again towards the left and towards the right, which number is common? 92 is common, so we will take 92 as common. Now what is left? 11 plus, and that is 10. First we will solve the bracket. 92 multiply 11 plus 10, that is 21. Now multiply these two numbers. When we will multiply these two numbers, what will the answer? 9, 13 and 9 by 18. That is 1932 is the answer. I hope it is clear.